Hello and welcome to this episode of Andy's Autosport TV. Today's episode is going to be a short one. We're going to show you how to install a coilover system on a vehicle. In our case, it's going to be our Project Integra. Installing coilovers is usually not very complicated and can be done in a couple of hours with normal hand tools. So let's get started. Okay, so on our Project Integra, we are going to have to remove the brake line. It's actually connected to the strut with two 12mm bolts. So we're going to take those off first. Remove the hardware from your lower strut mounts. Your vehicle's suspension will probably look somewhat differently unless it happens to be a late 80s to mid 90s Honda. Now we'll loosen up the top. Take our strut loose from the top up here with these two bolts. Now that everything is unbolted, we can go ahead and remove the factory strut assembly. We can now put the new coilover in place, bolting the upper mounts in, and then moving to the lower mounts. New coilovers will typically go in a bit easier than the factory units. Okay, we have everything installed now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back through and recheck all the bolts and make sure that they're all tight so that we don't have any mishaps while we're on our test drive. Now, onto the back. Unlike the front, there are no brake lines that get in the way of our strut assembly. However, what we're going to do is we're going to take the bolt loose from the lower control arm on this. Now when we do that, the emergency brake cable is actually a little bit in the way, so you need to be real careful. You can do it without disconnecting all that, you just have to be real cautious while you're doing it. Again, we begin by unbolting the factory strut mounts, and in some cases it makes things a bit easier to unbolt other suspension components as well. The upper strut mounts may only be accessible by removing a trim piece inside the trunk area, so look for any removable covers. Move anything that's in the way, in this case the lower control arm. Also be sure to watch for any brake lines that might get caught on the strut. Out with the old, in with the new. Slip the rear coilover in and attach the hardware to the top mount. Then bolt the lower mount and anything else you may have unbolted previously. Finally, we can bolt on our fresh NK Apache 2 wheels and Falcon tires and say goodbye to those ugly stalkers. Okay, so that's the basic procedure for installing coilovers on your vehicle. We did it all with hand tools. No air tools were used on this. The same hand tools that you can buy at andysautosport.com, by the way. And the only thing left to do now is take this thing out and really see where you want your shocks adjusted. Now what we've done with this is these have a multiple way adjustability, so we've adjusted it right to the center. That way you can go firmer if you want or softer if you want. But we're going to take this thing out for a test drive and see how we did. Thanks for watching this episode of Andy's Autosport TV.